Right, so why don't you review something, Mark, while you're here?
Okay, Pinocchio, which is the latest instalment in Disney's ongoing mission to remake their animated back catalogue in, largely perfunctory live-action versions. So this goes back to, we had Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, Dumbo, Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella, which I actually quite liked, Beauty and the Beast, Guy Ritchie's Aladdin, Mulan, Jon Favreau's Lion King, which of course wasn't live action anyway. It was in fact photorealist animation, so it was really an animated remake of an animated classic. So now this, which is a remake of the classic Disney animation from the 40s, Pinocchio. This project apparently dates back to 2015, at which point Sam Mendes was in talks to direct a script by Chris Weitz, then passed to Paul King, who of course, best known for Paddington, at which point Tom Hanks came on, although he then left when Paul King left the project, and then he came back when Robert Zemeckis came in, because of course he'd made Forrest Gump, Castaway, Polar Express with Robert Zemeckis, then signed on to direct. Script went through umpteen different writers, including at one point your friend Jack Thorne had a go at it, although it is now credited, as far as I can tell, to Weitz and Zemeckis. Benjamin Evan Ainsworth is the voice of Pinocchio. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Jiminy Cricket. Nobody needs to be told the plot again. Here is a familiar scene from Pinocchio.
Locked solid. Well, no, I guess this isn't what you signed up for when you decided to be a famous actor, is it?
It's not my fault. I never wanted to be famous.
Sorry, kiddo. That's not the way I remember it.
But I didn't want to be famous. I wanted to go to school.
Hey!
It's true. All of those people cheering and applauding. I hated it. What's happening, Jiminy?
Looks like some sort of fairy magic. Kinda on the nose, if you ask me. But the point is, a lie can really change a person, Pinocchio.
Which is why I'm telling you the 110% most honestly honest, truthiest truthiness ever. Believe me. Oops, okay, that last part wasn't true. But everything I said up until then was.
So it's
when you hear the creaks, that means his nose is extending by like a meter every time.
Yes, and that's kind of passed into popular mythology of, you get political websites with, how many Pinocchios for the last Trump speech, for example. So other cast members: Cynthia Erivo is the Blue Fairy, Luke Evans is the Coachman, Keegan-Michael Key is the voice of the fox, Honest John. Pinocchio is a weird one because people keep coming back to it. We had the live-action version by Matteo Garrone just a couple of years ago. We've got the new stop-motion animation by Guillermo del Toro, which is going to play at the London Film Festival. I think that's its world premiere at the London Film Festival. I'm really looking forward to it. As I said, I did actually speak to Guillermo just a few weeks ago. I said, what's your version about? He said it's about death, which is exactly what I want from Pinocchio. And then, of course, there's Steven Spielberg's AI, which is probably the most inventive adaptation of Pinocchio. All of those are interesting propositions. This is just the opposite of that. I think it's possibly the most pointless live action, although again I use that in inverted commas.
That didn't look, the little clip that you just played us,
Yeah.
I saw the actual clip from the movie in the studio.
Yes.
It didn't look live action at all.
No, exactly. Because firstly, the live action obviously the Pinocchio is an animated CG. There is just some live action in it because there are some like for example, Tom Hanks as Geppetto, although he's exists in a world which is completely CG. I mean, as with all Robert Zemeckis films, it's kind of, it's CG-tastic. I mean, even Forrest Gump has a lot of CG in it and a lot of that sort of stuff, even though it's a live action film. The question is, why are you doing this? It looks like someone has just taken the cartoon. I mean, you saw the Pinocchio there. That's the cartoon Pinocchio. It's like somebody just did a 3D CG animation of the cartoon of Pinocchio, not reinventing the character at all, but doing it exactly as in the Disney version. Tom Hanks can twinkle all he likes. He cannot breathe any life into this new version. All the best bits of it are lifted directly from the original, whether it's songs that you recognise or whether it's the shadow of the boy transforming into the donkey. Those are all bits that you can call them nods to the original, or you can say they are the bits from the original that you remember. All the new stuff, like, a bit more backstory motive and just, some other kind of inventive, are completely irrelevant. It really felt like disheartening, accountancy-driven fare, a project which has spent a long time coming to the screen. And I think the only thing that was driving it forward was we need to remake this part of the back catalogue. And the worst thing about it is, if you put it in context of the fact that it's bookended by the Garrone on the one hand and the Guillermo del Toro, which of course I haven't seen yet, but it's a Guillermo del Toro stop-motion animation. If you've seen the trailer, it looks like there's going to be some really interesting stuff going on in there. And the Garrone was kind of fascinating and weird. It's just so perfunctory. And it breaks my heart to say this, but Hanks for nothing, Tom. I mean, really, this is beneath you. And this is not what we expect.
I don't think you can't blame Tom for this.
I'm not blaming him.
I think you just did.
I'm not angry. I'm just very disappointed.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you like watching it as much as we enjoyed recording it. Why not check out these videos while you're here?
To be up to date on all things Kermode and Mayo's Take, follow us on our socials. They're all here below.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
I would, in fact.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah.